have any dreams come true to cross off your list. It's just an idea. It's just some nebulous passing phase. But when you write it down, I'm a list writer. I love writing lists because then I can check it off and put a line through it and highlight it and all those things. I completed it. Circle it. Like I said, I'll be like going out doing my list and something will come up that I did that's not on my list. And I'll put it on my list. I'll pull over and put it on my list and cross it off and check mark it. So I feel that, accomplishment. I stopped and had lunch too, and that wasn't even on my list. Life invites us with gusto and energy to thrive. We are constantly being called up in consciousness. And when something doesn't go your way, it means there's another way. It doesn't mean no. It means not that way or not right now. And if we can see it differently, we can be the part of the energy of the solution. But when we're it didn't work out for me. The universe says, yes, let me show you how it doesn't work out for you. Our attitude, our outlook, and our willingness, perseverance, and persistence is our resilience that keeps us going. And it's essential in our transformation. You're in the midst of a huge transformation right now. Did you know that? No? It's a new moon. All the planets are in complete alignment right now. Have you noticed? Has certain numbers been coming up for you? Maybe not. Maybe you're like, oh no, those are just numbers that happen to come up all the time in the same sequence. I don't know if you believe in that sort of thing, but it's something to pay attention to. It's another tool. And when we start to understand the tools and the guidance that's being brought to us in everyday life, the guidance starts to appear more. And if you think that you are out on your own, that you're a lone wolf, I got news for you. There's only one of us here, appearing as the billions of manifestations of the one. So you can feel like you're all alone, or you can feel like you are all one. It's up to you. And at times, in the morning, I sometimes feel alone. But by the afternoon, I'm all one. Or it can work the other way around for you, depending if you're a morning person or an evening person. But become a life person. Doesn't matter what time of day it is. Be in life. Be leaf. Be in life. Combined with courage, tenacity, and our keen insight that we are developing as our spiritual understanding of who we really are, anything can happen. Anything can be transformed by the renewing of your mind. But it is that fire in the belly, so to speak. It is that animating, energetic that moves our awareness into being. And as we work in partnership with Spirit, all things are truly possible, especially the seeming impossible. Respell impossible to I am possible. You are possible. Did you just happen to get a body? Thank you, Dr. Ernest Holmes just fell off the table. That was a visual for me. No, you selected a body. You got to pick every aspect of your experience right here and right now. And you're living it. Have you ever been on fire about something and nothing could convince you otherwise? Where did that come from? So as you reflect on that, you can almost feel that passion once again. It wells up like an unquenchable thirst. It is that motivating factor that brings the attraction mechanism within you to the on position. See, when you're a magnet, and when you flip your switch to the on position, it's an electromagnet, by the way, energetically transformed by the renewing of your mind. And when you turn it on, it's a very powerful instrument. So would you like to go on a little imaging experience with me? So imagine a lemon on a cutting board with a knife before you. Cut a small wedge of the lemon out, and now taste the lemon. Your mouth may water a little bit, or your cheeks may pucker a little bit, but that's all thought. See, there's no lemon in front of you right now, but it's in front of your mind. You can almost taste a little bit of lemon, can't you? That's because our minds are so powerful. It doesn't know the difference between an idea and something that's right before us. So, when we imagine being, doing, or having what we choose, we create the energy. That fire is activated within us, and we start attracting those things towards us. When we say, I can't do that, the universe says, yes, let me show you how you can't. When you say, I am, fill in the blank, the universe gets very busy showing you that you are that. Just the memory of something can bring back that feeling in our consciousness and the drive behind that desire. And holy boldness is the fire in your soul that propels you into action. It ignites the flame within you, and you keep it stoked by your spiritual practice. Are you practicing spiritual connection? Holy boldness is the actual fire in your belly. Now, you may not feel the fire in your belly, but I think we can all agree that there is something that's animating everything that is. There is something that is we all desire something. If you have a human body, you desire something. That's part of the experience. You know, and we've been given these beautiful human bodies that have to eat on a regular basis, so we're hungry most of the time. But for prayer to be effective, we need to activate that fire in the belly. So I can teach you how to pray effectively. I can teach you to get what you want. But what I can't teach you is how to activate that fire in the belly, because it's already on. It's already part of you. It was installed at your inception. You couldn't be here if you didn't have that animating force within you. You can deny it, you can run, but you cannot hide. You may put it under a bushel, as they say, but you can't not have it. So would you like to activate that? Would you like to live from that place of power? We were born with it. It is who and what you are. It is your attraction to spiritual enlightenment. You know, you didn't just stumble in here today, as I said, some of you may have, but you got yourself here. And there's that within you that knows what's going on, and that this is part of your spiritual evolution. I call it my mama bear energy. Anybody know what that's about? I think your moms do. Well, it's also the papa bear energy. But it seems the mama bear has this a little more prominent in their DNA. I mean, we've all heard stories of people lifting cars off of other people because there was a situation where their mama bear energy was activated and they didn't know they couldn't lift a car. They just knew what had to happen in the situation and they did it. That's the fire in the belly. And gentlemen, you've all been in situations where you knew you had to do something, had to figure something out, and you pulled that car over and you asked for directions, didn't you? Hey, I'm with you, brother. It's the hardest thing to do. And this is just life I'm talking about. Because gentlemen, we don't have the same, some of us don't have the same connection that some of our feminine partners do. And it's that aspect of the connection that we need to enhance. Because we all have it. But to what degree have we refined it? And gentlemen, if you're in this room, you're already halfway there. There's a lot of gentlemen out there that would much rather be watching sports today than being here. And sports are wonderful, and a lot of women like sports too, but this is beyond sports. This is beyond your extracurricular activities. This is a necessity to your growth in all directions. So as we nurture our knowingness with Source, that connection to the divine source, we develop a sacred relationship with Spirit that is the divine knower within us. And this knower leads and guides us to intuitive insight that illuminate our pathway. Have you ever been illuminated and you knew exactly which way to go, even when that part of you said, I don't know, but you were drawn to an energy. You were drawn in a certain direction and it worked out for you. Because you put your logic aside and you tapped into your intuitive knowing that just knows that it knows that it knows, and you don't have to know how it works, but you have to rely on it. The more we nurture that, the deeper our relationship and our connection grow. It's just like writing with your non-dominant hand. If you start relying on your intuition, it wakes it up and it starts intuitively guiding you automatically. That's the fire in the belly. That's the activation of Spirit within you. And as our confidence expands, we begin to feel that energy closer than our breath, closer than our hands and feet. It is not something that comes into us. It's something that's already in us that we activate and it comes out. This is when you're presented a situation where you used to yell and scream and have a tantrum about, that you fall silent and you take a step back and you say, I wonder what's bothering them and can I pray about it? Can I bring wholeness to this situation? That's the fire in the belly. That's the intuitive knowingness. While this sensation may be subtle and discreet, it can also be linked to your divine connection, because that's what it is. So this knower within you is reliable. We can always tap into it, and we simply have to trust it as the majestic power of who we truly are. Do you believe that there is a power? Okay, well, you got to start there. You got to at least understand that it's possible. This divine knowingness brings us the conviction that allows us to walk boldly and comfortably through this thing called life in a sacred manner. Because we know the secret. We know the secret. You are the divine, having a human experience as a spiritual experience, having a human experience. It's all the same. You can run, but you cannot hide. So your source is not your job. It's not your employer. It's not your partner. It's source, God, Great Spirit, whatever you want to call it, that's your business. You get to call it whatever you want, but I think we can agree that you didn't of yourself create yourself that you know of. Actually, you did. But we're stripped of that knowledge coming in because it would just freak us out. If we knew it all, then there would be no game. But you're in the midst of the game of life. Now, some people say, well, I don't like calling it a game. I don't either. It's not a game because there's no winning or losing. There's just being in the zone. It doesn't matter if you win or lose. It's how you experience the game that makes the difference. This knowingness is the resurrecting comfort of the new you. It is the light within the darkness. It is the reassurance when everything is falling away from you that you are moving towards your light. You know, rejection is a really positive, powerful thing. It means you're good as elsewhere. Go there quickly. Rejection is moving you towards what you do want to be, do, and have. You're not being rejected, you're being pointed towards your highest and best good. So see it differently, and the universe will react differently to your experience. So get fired up. Get ready to go. There is energy and enthusiasm in being fired up. So what happens when you're all fired up in spirit, ready to live your best life in holy boldness, and things don't work out? Do you get depressed? That means you need deep rest. Depressed, deep rest. And when you go make yourself a sandwich, and you go have a little nappy nap, and you're not so angry, hangry, hungry, angry, things begin to work out for you. Things aren't so bad. Okay, I have an affirmation for you. Repeat after me. Things always work out in my favor.
Things always work out in my favor.
Good or bad? They do. There is no bad. It's all good. Now, there may be things that may be less good in your spectrum of analogies, but there's only one thing happening. Love. Love is the answer to every question. When we feel like anything is possible and we're ready to tackle whatever life brings our way, we have an attitude of zest and zeal for life. We're fired up. Fired up, man. Oh! Rock on, brother. It's like being at your favorite rock concert and they're playing your favorite song to you. This is just where I get fired up. When we think of being fired up, think of being stimulated, provocative, and action-oriented. However, a key quality in our spiritual work is personal development and evolving in a humble, and open way. Sometimes being fired up means remaining silent in certain situations. That means controlling that fired upness. It's like a good heavy metal song that's a ballad. It's like all this energy, and they're singing a love song. That is being fired up in spirit in a way that you can utilize for your highest and best good. Be still and know that you are source energy. You are it. You can stop your search, looking and taking classes and workshops and buying books for other people that need them. It's all for you. There's only you here. You have to become vulnerable. And sometimes we've been hurt and we're not spontaneously eager to open ourselves back up. But if we shut ourselves down completely, we have lost the vision of why we came here. Ships are safe in their harbor, but that's not why ships were built. They're built to weather the storms. They're built to go out and have an adventure and come back and tell the tale. So become vulnerable and humble with your divine self. It's not something you have to go shout at the mountaintop. It's something to be controlled within you. To be humble requires the release of any arrogance or sense of superiority, and instead, let's learn to just be open and teachable. Use that love and that energy to transform situations into experiences that will develop you in a way that allows you to share your gift with other people. We're here to share. We are each other's angels. We need to start acting like it. Jesus said, "The meek shall inherit the earth, and the meek shall inherit the earth." Rush 21:12. One of my only references to heavy metal music today. So in conclusion, when we are fired up in life, we are ready to proceed on our path of completion. But there's no getting it all done. You're never going to get it all done. So just do the best you can with what you have before you. There is nothing that can stop or detour or slow you down. You ever meet somebody who's a bulldozer in life? Those people that, you either get out of their way or you will be bulldozed over. And that's okay. God bless them because they are on fire for hopefully a good cause. But we must learn to control the bulldoziness. A new word. If we hit a roadblock or an obstacle, we move through it or we go around it. When we're fired up with holy boldness, it propels us. We're not only revved up with inspiration, motivation, and readiness, we are also willing to step outside of our comfort zone to try something new, get a new perspective, walk a mile in someone else's moccasins. We're willing to be a pioneer, a path builder, a leader, a creator, to find that new way that appears before us. We get there by embracing our bravery and our courage, which includes being vulnerable and humble. We listen up and we listen in. Listen in to what the intuitive energy is trying to tell you. We listen for that still small voice of our ancestors, of our guides, of our angels, of our guardians. And when we do that, their voices begin to be heard louder. Their imagery begins to take over our consciousness, and we see things differently. Being fired up requires an inner conviction, a fortitude, and a resilience to get back up if we fall, knowing we grow stronger and wiser with each step. As we cultivate this consciousness of courage and conviction and commitment, we become fired up with holiness, holy boldness. As the wind beneath our wings grows, lifting us to higher and higher realms of consciousness. So it is. Amen. Thank you. Well, it's time for us to follow our teaching and go within. So I invite you to close your eyes if that's comfortable for you, or take a soft focus on the beautiful flowers, and let's remember who we are. There is a power and a source and a great spirit that is everything that is. And as we unify as that power in form, we activate the fire of love within us. And the magnetic attraction of that energy of love begins to bring the divine demonstrations of that love, of healing, of connection, of thriving, of abundance, of gratitude. For gratitude is the acknowledgement that we already are what we are seeking. And the search is now over, because we are divine beings, not divine searchings. And when we have found that power, we become still. And all of our plans begin to work out or shift into a modality that the divine is working everything out perfectly. I may not know what you're working with today, but I know that God does. I know the divine knows exactly what's going on here. And as we align with that source energy, connections are made. All the right cells are moved to the right places in our bodies and activated in a healing and transformative way that allow to release whatever no longer serves us and rebuild those fibers, tissues, organs, and whatever needs to be replenished is done right here and right now for perfect health, perfect mind, and perfect body. So we give great thanks for these healings, these revealings of the truth that are happening for each one of us right here, right now. Thank you, divine source, for keeping each one of us in love, in abundance, in high consciousness. We let go. In gratitude, we let go. We release this word into the living, loving law of mind, where it returns to us fully orbed and resplendent as divine demonstrations of the awesome power of the wisdom of the universe as our lives in love. So we let go, and we let God be God in our lives. So we affirm this together by saying, and so it is. Amen. Okay, well, welcome back. Well, it's time for our prosperity affirmation. So if you'd like to take your gift and put it on your heart, put your hand on your heart today, we'll affirm this together. We cannot outgive God. I give freely and generously and contribute to divine circulation. And so it is. All right, let's say a prayer for our offertory. From the love of pure spiritual energy, these tithes and gifts have been collected. They're evidence of our faith, our belief, and our ability to manifest in this world of form. And they do good work in this world. They bless the giver and the receiver, and they allow this, the Grants Pass Center for Spiritual Living, to be open, active, and available for those who are choosing to remember who they are, and for those who may not know it yet. And for that, this entire community and world is blessed, and we give great thanks. And so it is. And it's time for our final song. So if you'd like to stand up and we can... Check 1, 2. And now for our benediction, please repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening right now.
Something wonderful is happening right now.
It's happening in my mind. It's happening in my body. It's happening in the body of my affairs. I think it. I feel it. And I know it. Just the way that it is. And just the way that it is not. Thank you, life. Have a wonderful week. Stay for the movie.